Great. Well, in that case, maybe we can show up.
Right. What? Show up.
Because the game's called The Show. Maybe we
Ah.
can the show up. Yeah, that was a bad one. I get that.
Ooh, that was over my head.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. I'm going to stomp on that one. That'll be good.
Just a bit outside.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
Cobweb. We're talking about Cobweb. I pressured Eric to see this because it was all over TikTok for one day. I don't know why it's called Cobweb. How about Simpsons Ripoff? Could be a good title. I don't know. This is a new generation of horror. We're going to talk about this. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. This is not to be confused with Cobweb, the 2023 South Korean film, or The Cobweb, the 1955 film. Apparently, it's a popular name, but
I actually thought it was a remake of a Korean film. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, we're going back to J horror, but now it's K horror.
Well, apparently the Cobweb South Korean film, I've not watched it, but the wiki reads that it is about a director who is obsessed with remaking his own movie which was filmed in the 1970s.
Ah.
And yeah,
that sounds
sad
interesting.
and funny things that would happen while filming under such conditions. Either way, let's X out of that. Don't ever want to see it again. And The Cobweb 1955, well, that's just definitely not going to be this. But
no. Yeah. Interesting names attached to it. Right off the bat, when the movie started, I was like, oh my God, that's Homelander.
Yeah, right. It's
Homelander's in this. We got this girl that I keep on forgetting her name. She's the mom, but I've seen her in tons of stuff.
Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah, she's now playing opposite Joshua Jackson in the not Basic Instinct. Cruel Intent. No. What was the movie reviewed with Michael Douglas?
Hold on. Close? Apparently, I can only see this Korean film now. Jeez.
What was her name? A Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
There we go.
Yes,
Fatal Attraction. This will determine how well you and I are really good friends or not. And I don't think you'll know this one. Do you know what my introduction of Lizzie Kaplan was?
Party Down?
It was a small TV show that lasted half a season and it got booted by Fox in the early 2000s. It was called The Pits.
Really? I've not heard of that.
It was called The Pits. It lasted only 6 episodes. It's absolutely horrid. But the concept of the show is you got your normal suburban family, but everything that could go wrong does go wrong.
Sure. She's been a few projects before that, but her big claim is Mean Girls, right? We can agree to that?
Yeah, that's why I was excited to see her, because she was the gothic friend in Mean Girls.
Yeah, and after that, she's been in obviously a lot of other things. So to show my hand, because she has been in a lot of these other things, I was never really a fan of hers because I thought that she played the same character in basically all these movies that she was in. So I was going into this movie with a chip, really, already, but I'll give her props. She actually did pretty good in this movie. I was hoping that she would win me over. I wouldn't say it's complete, but I think she did a pretty good job in this movie, considering. And so did the Homelander, Anthony Starr.
Yeah, I thought he did good too.
He was also in. What else was he in?
Mortal Kombat, because he's going to be in Mortal Kombat now?
No, he was in. I saw him in he was a war. Oh, he was in Covenant, the Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh, okay.
Or he played a contractor in Afghanistan, I think, and just.
He would play that.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of. Yeah, exactly. Tough guy with beard. With a scruff beard. That's
we've seen that before. We've seen that 100 times.
So I'll just say that he's a professional beard, by the way. Is that a thing to say?
I like his beard. So how I got into this movie was, like I said in the beginning, I'm just scrolling through TikTok, laying in bed one night, can't sleep, and I don't know if you know TikTok's algorithm. I think you do.
I know what an algorithm is, but I can tell you right now, I don't TikTok.
Right, but I watched one horror thing, and now it just gives me a slew of horror. 15-second clips. And it kept on repeating the ending scene of the bullies coming into the house and being attacked of this movie.
Okay.
And they split it up in like 10 scenes, like 10 clips, 15-second, 10 clips. I was like, this looks really interesting. So it was like movie where bullies enter house, trying to figure out this movie Cobweb. And I was like, oh, this actually looks kind of interesting. And you and I are fans of horror. So I figured let's talk about where horror is. I think now where horror is. I have an idea where I think the grandfather of this new generation of horror is. I think you'll disagree. But since we're big fans, where it was when we grew up and kind of where it's going now. Do you like where this new generation of horror is? But I guess my question I should say is, do you think that this movie falls into whatever category that we're going to make up of where horror is?
I maybe a little bit both when we get back into it. I know it's a vague answer, but there's certain things I like about this movie and certain things I don't like about this movie. I think that for one, it falls into, I was telling you earlier about this, into that same problem that a lot of these scary movies have nowadays, where it cannot find an ending. It cannot find a way to really just kind of wrap it up and put a cork in it. It always seems to be just a vague, open ending, dun dun dun, and
Right.
and then roll credits type of. You don't often see it to where it's either even like Smile left off very, very open for a sequel, right? Evil Dead
Right.
Rise was same thing. It very much sets up for another movie to happen, even though that movie can be self-contained, I would say, very easily. But it still, gives into that. So what's left to focus on is the horror elements, the camera work, and not necessarily the story so much, because that, like you said, that story, we've heard that before. Before I went Simpsons, I said People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, which I think is what Simpsons ripped off, right? Essentially.
Well, the idea of it, but that's still even
Right.
a story further than that. It's been taken
Right.
from, yeah.
I like to I don't know what to classify this because we had J horror, we had slasher, we had the late '90s, which is what we did in one of our retrospective series. I don't know what we classify this. People said elevated horror, but I think we've gone past that. I think this is another generation of horror past
Nah, this is
elevated.
monster movie, man.
This is a monster movie. Okay, so I like to say that I think that The Godfather, and I wanted to have this argument with you because you're going to tell me I'm wrong, but I think The Godfather of monsters, scary, horror that we're at now, as I'm going to argue, is It Follows.
Okay.
I think It Follows came out in a time when horror was dead. I think the first Conjuring came out maybe at that time, and that was about it. Like horror was dead. It was like a 10-year gap where horror was nothing.
And I would
And
agree that James
yeah,
Wan, it got big because of the dry period that was in cinema for horror.
I would say that, and like James Wan could be the godfather of it because with Saw and Dead Silence and his other movies that he's done with horror, Conjuring. But I don't know, like It Follows was like one of that movies that was like, oh, there's something more going on. There's something else. And then I would also argue that that The Witch or The Vitch would be in that same category, right?
Well, yeah, because those movies encourage you, the viewer, to use your imagination. Same with I hate to bring up what The Invisible Man, but
Right.
that Invisible Man took very well from It Follows. Just a panned camera, just you, the vision and the thought that something is going to be there, but you don't know where it is, and it brings an extra. It builds tension very well, and I think that that's really a good thing that they do. What classic horror usually does, like think Hitchcock, right? I mean, of what's her name going up the stairs for the birds, just dead silence. You know what's going to happen. You know what you're supposed to look for, but still, it's
Right.
that element of waiting for it to pop.
Right.
I enjoy those parts elements, but to say like, because you have to add to that too. It's not just that. There has to be different parts. What do I mean by that? Like the gore, I guess. The air of danger as well too, of not just
Yeah.
unknown, but knowing that whatever it is on the other side is not going to be good for you.
Yeah. I'm going to call this Z horror. Like, man, what I mean by that is not zombie horror, but like Z, like Generation Z, or is this M horror, right? Like the generation, like like our generation, millennials. Like, is this our generation making these films?
Is there a pamphlet for these horror genres that you have?
You know what I'm talking about?
I need
Because
to
we had the
catch up
slasher
here.
films. We had the slasher films in the 80s. We had the 90s with Screams, right? Then we had the J horror, right? The Japanese horror with the Ring, Ringu, all that stuff. And then we have elevated horror, right, where it makes you think like The Witch and blah 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 blah. And now we have a movie like this, and I'm just kind of curious where it's fallen into. I do want to talk about this movie, so let's talk about it. And I feel like, and I hope you're okay with this. Go
Mhm.
ahead.
I was
Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I was put this more of like a ghost than like a Conjuring. This is like a bump in the night type of movie because that's what it is. A lot of it is in the bedroom. A lot of it's in
Yeah.
that very vulnerable, that in your safe space as a kid, right? And it's being attacked, and he's building this relationship, and you get to see him go to school and kind of how it affects his interaction with the kids around him too. Which we need to talk about that, by the way.
Yeah, we are. So I want to talk about this movie, so let's talk about it. And I feel like because of the ending, I think we should spoil the ending so we can kind of see how we got to this point. Do you agree?
Oh, I mean, just kind of, yeah,
Like how
we're
we get
talking
to
about
where
it.
we.
Hey, let's
Yeah,
talk
we're
about it.
talking about. Let's talk about it. That should be your new thing. Hey, let's talk about it.
I
Just go
have
right.
been, whenever you have been saying it, I have just been repeating it. I don't know if you've been catching it, but we've been
Is
doing
that
it
your
for a
little joke?
while. I don't
Is that
know.
your joke for about a couple of years? Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about
It's been a slow burn,
it.
and
Burn.
it's right now. If it's paying off, if it's tipping over right now, it feels good.
Um,
I'm in it.
we can, I'm going to segue to something that's very short and quick because it reminded me of this. Years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I was in an office at the job that I worked at, and I had a Michigan Wolverines clock above the computer on the wall, right?
Mhm.
And every so often, for months, people would walk by and go, tee, like giggle. And I would never understand. 6 months later, I came into work, and the clock was right below, like right behind the monitor, right? And I'm like,
Okay.
why is the clock behind the monitor? And all these guys were like, for 6 months, when you were in here, we would take the clock off the wall and move it down a half an inch. And you never noticed.
Holy
You
cow, they
they would
got you.
move it down.
You
So
dumb son of a gun, you.
you saying that just made me think of it. All right, let's get into the cobweb. So, um, mom, dad, and I'm saying this because we're gonna spoil the ending, and then we're gonna where the movie begins after that, and kind of work our way. But mom, dad, this is the way I took from it. Has a kid, has a girl, Sarah, and she comes out deformed. This is my way of taking it. She comes out deformed, a monster, if you will. They can't kill her because they don't have it in them to kill her. So they lock her in the basement, but then when she gets older, they dig a hole and put her into a cage in a hole. And now she has escaped into the wall, so they locked her into the walls. And then after that, they have another son that's normal, quote unquote. Is that what I'm reading?
That's what I saw. Now I went into this completely cold.
Okay.
So off of a trailer that you sent me, and then that's it. Watching this, and I don't even think I watched all the trailer. But so I went in completely cold off of this. Automatically, these two parents pissed me off because, of course,
Yeah.
it's just like, whoa! I should call this movie Red Flags because it's just of how horrible these two people. And then it's like they're not even showing it. So this is where again my kind of dial turns in where I'm just like, oh, I don't like either of these two. But it wasn't until later on where I realized like, oh, I get how they're acting then. She's Lizzie Kaplan is playing this person who's like, forcingly trying to put on this face that everything's okay, even though that she knows that like it's about to snap at any minute. This Mark is his name, Anthony Starr, Homelander guy. Uh, I don't. He's kind of playing the same way, but it just seems odd to live in that house with a pumpkin patch.
Yeah,
Uh,
behind the house, right?
yeah, everything just kind of about his behavior just kind of seemed weird. But I guess, given the secret that they're keeping, it's especially because at this point, as we know them, they're already hiding a death, right?
Allegedly, right? So that death comes from another child that was a
A
stillborn?
trick or treater, because this was a no wait, this was a week before Halloween. and they talked about how the year before or something like that, or years before, excuse me, before he was born. That's right.
Yeah.
Remember, the dad's like, a few years before you were born, and it's like, what the hell? How old is this kid? Where did they find this kid? That a little girl was trick or treating, and then she went missing.
Right. But later on, don't we find out that that's another child? Because they find a skull.
It is another child, because I was under the assumption that later on that we found out that Sarah, the locked away girl, killed that trick or treater, and so the parents were covering it up.
That's what you see. I took it as that Sarah killed a sibling, that this was done before. That the sibling got Sarah to break out, and the sibling didn't successfully kill the parents, of course.
Oh no,
I thought that was this was a repeat.
no, I was under the assumption. I still think that this is the daughter, right? Or like, I don't know why the parents would keep this person if it wasn't their kid. Isn't that like not like just some creature that they found and they're like, yeah, we got to hold on to this thing.
So I want to ask, Eric, there's so many questions with this, right? Because the spoiler is the boy is talking to this little girl in the walls. We'll find out later, not so little girl. But how was the little girl surviving? How was she eating? Do the parents feed her? We don't know, right?
Well, we'll assume that the parents are feeding her, because we saw a shot of Carol, the mom, walking out of or away from the clock.
So she was putting the food in behind the clock. Gotcha.
There's a door back there. Which, here's what if this thing, Sarah, is so agile, maybe, I don't know if I'm asking this. Wait until later.
You're asking a little bit here, because some spider walking.
Yeah, exactly. If she's such a threat, then you tell me that she couldn't just take out Carol, like boom, like real quick. It's just, she seemed to take out everyone else just as easy. You telling me you can't handle Carol?
Right, which defies a lot of the laws of physics. So we know the ending was spoiled, so let's go back to it. The mom's fine, the dad's fine, no problems. Immediately, what takes me out of this movie is this boy. This kid was so hard trying to dial into the kid with "Let Me In."
Peter.
So hard. I hate this kid.
Yeah.
This kid pisses me off more than Child's Play kid. Like, this kid is bad. And you know what I'm talking about with like "Let Me In" or "Let the Right One In," right?
No,
with that vampire movie. It's kind of
like
like this
doe-eye.
Yeah, it's like this Tim Burton-y kid. And it's like, oh, he's going to school and he's being bullied. Bullies aren't like this, especially in 23, right? I'm assuming this is modern day.
I mean,
like,
you can't say that for sure, but do you know who that bully was, by the way?
The kid?
Yeah.
No.
He has a famous family.
Is he a Culkin?
He's a Busey.
Oh my God.
Luke Busey.
Is this Starship Trooper Gary Busey's son?
Let me take a look here. Let's see.
How did you know the credits?
Family bio here. Impractical Jokers. Family life. He's the son of actor Gary Busey. What? His brother Jake Busey is also an actor.
Isn't Jake Busey in Starship Troopers?
Yes, Jake Busey is Starship Troopers. Yes.
He's Gary Busey. He's Gary Busey's son.
That's right.
Gary Busey's like 80. This kid's like 10.
Yeah, let's. Gary Busey is 79 years old. Yeah, this kid's 13.
Ooh. All right, Gary. All right, Gare. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. Let's watch this kid. This kid has a famous family. He could be something in the future.
Is that really true? Man, this kid's 13. He's got to be the son of. Hold on. Let me fact check that, because.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, if this is Gary Busey's kid, geez. If it is, then that's amazing. This movie's already large because of that.
He's definitely related to Busey. I'm just trying to find out where, because that was from like a pop culture website here, and we were getting sidetracked. Either way, I thought he was pretty good. Played a great bully.
Oh, he played an amazing bully. He played a very great 80s stereotypical bully that clearly should not be getting away with these illegal acts that he gets away with. Oh my God. Um, I also hate what Miss Divine.
Sure, yeah.
Who the hell is she? She's a substitute teacher that just sniffs her nose into the parents' business. Gina was going nuts because that's what Gina does for a living. So it's like she was like, "Oh, you better not go inside those house, girl." I just,
Yeah,
oh
she
my
was
God,
she played kind of oh my God, that yeah, I think it's Gary Busey's son.
good for you, Gary Busey. Good for you.
All right.
All right.
But yeah, she just kind of like, what is she doing getting so invested in this? I understand that there's an alarm for a troubled kid or a kid with a broken home, just very much drawing a picture like that. If any teacher saw that picture of a kid drawing dark everywhere in a bed and then,
Help
help
me.
me. Yeah, like that's a
Let's
pretty
cause for alarm.
yeah, exactly.
But now,
So
but yeah,
call somebody then.
yeah, you don't go to the house.
Yeah, she's a substitute teacher, and like this is like their second day or first day or something. Like, jeez, Liz, lady,
For,
she didn't call the cops ever, and
no cops are all in this movie.
yeah, that's just crazy to me.
And this movie's like don't breathe, like cops don't exist. So it's like, God, I hate that movie. So little Tim Burton kid is dark and mysterious bear. Now, I mean, right when the movie starts, though, right? Isn't he already talking to the sister, or is it hasn't started yet?
No, they start the knocking, which is a good sequence. This whole kind of
Knocking thing,
knocking
yeah.
through communication. It's creepy, and
Reminded me of the clapping game from Conjuring.
yeah, I think this is what that movie does well. That kid's got a big room, and there's a lot of echo, a lot of noise that goes through it, and it it works. The effects work in this movie, but
Yeah, the effects
again,
work.
this is a newer family staying in a very old house with very old technology.
Yeah, why not make this an '80s film? I mean, with I think that's actually damning the movie, to be honest with you.
Good call. If this was, yeah, a dated movie set for a different time, I think that would have played a little bit better. But yeah, there was a moment where I had to question it, like, when is this? What movie or what year is this? And then I saw the substitute teacher whip out a cell phone, Miss Divine, whip out her iPhone, and that's when I was like, oh, that's silly. Also, this thing in movies where somebody has their phone on them, and one, they don't use the flashlight on the phone, or two, they never call the authorities on the phone. Never. It's in your hand. They never call 911, three numbers. I understand I'm being blah about this, but then the other big thing about it is when they fall down and the phone goes mildly out of reach and they just leave it there.
Right, which is funny because look what's on my wrist right now. I have an Apple Watch. Again, I'm an Apple whore. I mean, like if I lose my phone, I can just press the crown for like 3 seconds and it dials SOS.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you
I mean,
can't
but
tell me that that's a lifeline. You're telling me that anyone in that situation is not going to grab that, especially it's on your way. You have to walk over it. You have to walk past it, and she doesn't pick it up.
it's frustrating.
That bothered me, and that's why I think movies like this had a problem wrapping it up, and you have to make so much stuff happen to make it be like, oh well, and she can't because she left her phone in the thing. Just like, golly.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna make it in modern day, it has to be it has to be in modern day that's believable, and you have to have reasons for X to happen in modern day. You can't just say it's modern day and we're not going to have Apple Watches or iPhones, if you will, to call. Because Eric, I'm sorry, but if you and I break into a house and you get your head decapitated, I'm trying to go for my phone. You know.
Oh, to
I
film
mean,
it for the
come on.
gram?
No, just like nice. No, just to call the
Oh, I'm sorry,
proper
for your
authorities.
TikTok. Yeah, that's right. You're on the TikTok, and this is what you. Yeah, no, I get you, and I the same. To call somebody to say, hey, you got to check this out. You don't even know what's happening to Jordan right now. He's getting killed. And anyway, where were we on this? You'll edit through this. I know. I know. I forgot where we were though. Oh, we were talking about Luke Busey, the bullying.
Yes, thank you. So you'll know my struggle. You'll know that eventually.
Eventually, I will.
Yeah, you'll know what just happened.
Good looking editing.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I should just do a clap here real quick. Yeah, sorry. Riley came in and she's like, Dad, I've been coughing.
I completely forgot where we were though.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I got you. Just keep it all in one clip. I got it, okay? All right. 3, 2. So what I'm trying to say is overall, I just don't like how we're going to have modern time. This movie would have been great in the early mid 80s. I think that would have been so much easier to kind of give into the world of it. What I don't like ultimately, though, besides the son, is I don't like the parents, because it's like these people both collectively said, hey, honey, you gave birth to a monster, so let's put it in a cage. Like, it makes me mad. Like, I mean, there has to be a reason, right? At least in Batman Returns, they saw the baby eat the cat.
I just feel weird because
You know?
like, how old is the Thing?
How old is Sarah? I
Yeah.
don't know, right? I mean, like, her hair is as long as a house.
She's
Well, I'm going to say she's a grown adult, right?
She looks it because these people have got to be our age, right? Like, we're assuming that the parents are probably
Yeah, like very late 30s, early 40s, but it's like she's probably pushing 18 because she has that sweet innocent girl voice in The Wall. But then when everything turns, she has like that deep, like, I'm a monster voice.
Well, she is very. You got to see her face, right?
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Let's
So
talk about it.
Yeah, was the movie dark for you?
Yes.
Because I couldn't really see. It just looked like she had a Joker smile.
Yeah,
Or was it literally ear to ear?
Yeah,
Literally?
it was like a lizard. I don't know, like yeah, it was a monster. Big eyes, big mouth with fangs.
Okay, all right. Because I was thinking, is that a Joker face or is that the witches from I think the movie The Witches, right, that we reviewed?
See, like the bear trap kind of mouth, you know?
Okay, all right.
If that makes sense.
So again, though, one
Jaws
more time.
from
Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws.
So one more time. Mom gives birth to lizard monster. They're appalled, so they lock her in a basement. Like, I mean, like, that's what makes me mad. Like, why did they lock her into a basement?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it makes me really mad. Like, I mean, like, if you're gonna go that route, if you're gonna make these parents jerks, okay, well, give me a reason why they're jerks. Was this a baby, an oops baby? I don't know. I mean, that would have been better. It's like, oh, she was an oops. We didn't want her.
You know what? This will be set you up for the prequel here. Yeah, it could very well be that they had Sarah, and they tried to love her, but then Sarah was just evil by nature, probably, and
Is that what it is?
I mean, I'm assuming this seems to be already. It seems almost like writing itself, where they had to contain her because then some people started missing, people's pets started missing, and then a kid went missing. Oh, we gotta lock her up, and then this happened.
Yeah,
so who knows?
That's not good. That's bad.
That could be a whole lot. So yeah, I don't know. That could be a whole bunch of that, and then I don't know if one day they I don't know, decide to have Peter.
Yeah, so they have Peter. Everything's going well. So kudos to Sarah. I actually dig Sarah in this movie because she waits to a certain point, right? She waits probably 10 years, right? How old is Peter? 10? She waits 10 years in the walls, I'm assuming, for him to reach a certain age for her to attack. She plays the sweet, innocent game of mom and dad are evil. I'm actually your sister. She's not lying. Technically, this girl's not lying.
She's doing a
like,
good job, man.
She's doing good. Yeah, she has this sweet, innocent voice. She's like, "Mom and Dad are evil. They locked me in this in the walls here. They locked me in the basement. Mom and Dad are bad people, and Mom and Dad act weird. They have the same bathroom from The Shining, as I texted you.
Oh, and she tells him to stick up for himself too. She to stick up against Brian, against the bully,
Right.
which he does in kind of a weird fashion there, right? He pushes him down some steps
Breaks his
and
leg,
breaks his leg.
and that kid is doing like that little kid scream, where it's like this.
Ah,
Oh God.
ah.
It was it was amazing to see that, right? Because how many times have people been bullied in their lives where like they have that fantasy, right, of just like, oh, I'm gonna get you good, right? Just like I'm gonna teach you. Not saying I have those issues.
Yo, that's messed up. That later on though, that Brian gets his cousins in a van to go there to I would imagine, not let them live.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about the ending, right? Because that's a big chunk of this movie, which I'll give the movie praise on this too. Great hour and a half.
Hold on, we should build up on the relationship a bit more before we get into the ending.
We will, but great hour and a half.
Sure. Yes.
Perfect, right?
Well, it felt like it was a little bit longer. It felt like it was running a little over, but yeah.
See, I did it. I thought the movie was fast. An hour and a half was perfect.
I think it was just because I was left hanging with some questions. Like,
we have a lot of questions.
Just like, what the heck is going on? And I'm waiting for answers, and I never got any. So maybe that's why I felt it. But yeah, runtime's always good. I always approve of that.
All right, so we're going off of the relationship with what, Sarah and Peter?
Yeah, they build up a little bit how she kind of deceives him, right?
Very well. I mean, she played it good.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, she's not a liar, right?
She's spinning her web.
Ah, nice. You deserve a beer for that.
Yeah.
Cobweb, web. Good job.
Drinking a Bud
No,
Light.
I mean, I don't believe her story because, okay, 10-year-old kid. If I was a 10-year-old kid and somebody says they're my sister and they're living in the walls, I don't know if I believe you, right? I think this kid's too gullible.
Well, at the same part, he knows that his parents are messed up, man. Like he knows that his life is not right. His parents are really weird. He gets locked in the basement.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that. So Sarah was locked in the basement. Then they locked her in the pit, this cage pit, a la Buffalo Bill style.
Yeah.
But then they locked her in the walls, so she can't have access to the basement now.
I'm assuming that she had to do probably like a cage or something in the attic or some sort of spot in the attic that he said that she escaped from.
Ah, so she was never in the walls then until she escaped.
Yeah.
So she went from the basement to the cage to a cage up in the attic.
Yeah, because what I think, because remember when Carol finds out, she kind of traces or follows the path almost that Sarah would take to get to Peter's room, and she leads it back to her place, to her room, excuse me, which is just across the hall, and she freaks out because she's like, then she pieces it together like, oh my God, Sarah has been escaping and talking to Peter through the wall.
Right. What was with the nightmare parents freaking out scare scene just to scare us? Was that just because of a nightmare scene, or that has nothing to do with anything, right? That was just him and his psyche, Peter, freaking him out, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that nightmare was actually pretty creepy. But then
That was a good nightmare.
That just plays with the dark hallway scenes, which is always fun. They did a really good job with that. I think that it's just Peter just having hallucinations, knowing that again something is wrong in the house, but he doesn't know what.
Until Sarah finally convinces him, hey, we're going to slip rat poison in Mom and Dad's
it's great
gruel.
Scene.
That was gruel, essentially, that they're eating. Eric, you're a big horror fan like me. Would this scene bring you back to Psycho 4, the beginning?
Wow, what the hell? No.
No?
I can't. Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I can't help but always think this has always been ruined by South Park for me.
Oh, yeah, Scott Tenorman.
Yeah, but that's obviously not rat poison. That's his
What is that,
parents.
Mr. and Mrs. Tetterman chili? Oh, your tears taste so good, scat. No, yeah, that's good. But
No,
when
but yeah, I know what you
poison the
mean.
parents is poisoning the parents is definitely psycho for an unrated gem, I would say. Look it out one time. And by the way, so we're going to put rat poison in mom and dad's soup. That's not soup. Even my wife pointed out, she was like, "That's not soup. That's thicker than gravy."
I just called it gray.
It was gruel. Like,
You're eating gray.
okay, so at this point, right before they eat the gruel, um, where's mom and dad's head at this point? Like, does mom and dad like why isn't mom and dad luring Sarah out to kill her? I mean, obviously, mom knows that Sarah's escaping.
I don't know if they have. This is where I question it too. Like, why do they have control of her? Like, I don't understand what's happening. Like it's
Those are questions to ask, Eric. Yeah, you're right. You're on the same page.
yeah. So also, what accent was she trying to do, Carol? I don't understand. Outrageous, atrocious, or whatever she was
Nordic.
exclaiming. Yeah, she was trying to go for something. I'm not too sure.
I don't know if you're supposed to go New England. I don't know. It looks like a New England town.
Yeah, it does seem a bit of a kind of a haunted vibe up there in the witch town area.
Right. No, yeah. Do the parents not have control, right? Because you said that Sarah lives in a cage, allegedly, up in the attic. So if she lives up in the cage, well, why is mom giving her food through the wall behind the clock? Like, or does she not live in a cage? And they literally just are like, oh, screw it. She lives in the walls. Like, I don't understand.
I don't understand either because, again, I would think that Sarah would not have needed to wait for Peter to kill the parents before doing it herself.
Clearly, she could have.
Yeah.
I mean, she could have done this anytime. She could have done when they were sleeping.
Yeah, it seemed very much in her ability to do all that. And also, it seemed very much in her ability to bust through Peter's wall, as we saw Miss Divine basically just, I don't know, fart in its wallpaper's direction and bust through a whole wall there in seconds. Tears it down.
I love these.
I
love these horror movies. Like, wife and I are watching the last season of Walking Dead again. I think I said that before. And there was a scene in Walking Dead where they go to this old farmhouse and full human bodies are walking through the walls. You know what I mean? With no insulation. And I'm like, okay, those probably exist, but I doubt to this extent. You know what I mean? Like full human bodies walking through walls. I don't, maybe.
Well, because in the earlier scene of this movie, it showed Peter throwing or rolling a ball through the wall, and it seemed very much like it was a very thick, solid wall there.
Right.
That it was not just suddenly now bare planks, no insulation with a thin wallpaper over it. That's also 80 years old and rotted.
Do you think that Sarah was Andy Dufresne-ing it? Like every once in a while, just chiseling it? Has a poster up,
Yes, exactly. It was the long con, and she's been doing it. And also that hair, although a great effect, it seems like it would have been
stupid.
Yeah, like in the way.
That's
hair, a lot of hair, man.
Yeah, clearly like her hair's never been cut. She's never been taken care of. But
the reason why I take a bother to it is because it was her downfall. Literally and figuratively.
Technically. Yeah, good job.
He pulled her hair, this extremely long hair that she has, which, by the way, no one ever did throughout this. That's her weakness. You could have just pulled her hair. That's her weakness this entire flipping time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's get it.
Whoa!
Go ahead.
No. I just realized that was the monster's weakness. What? She threw some hair pulling. She went, it went down into the hole.
Yeah, how strong is the hair to be climbing? Okay, let's get into it, right? So let's get into like the last 30 minutes. So Busey Jr. here, Junior. You like that?
Yeah.
Shows up with the cast and his cousins. They're bullies. What is their goal? Is their goal to come to a parent's house? I'm sorry. Let me collect my thoughts here. Kid breaks his leg because he's bullying another kid. So he goes home and says to his cousins, they don't say this in the movie, I'm just trying to see for the story, hey, this kid pushed me down the stairs or whatever happened. So we're going to put on mask and kill him and his parents? Like, that's the... Why not just TP the house? Why not throw rotten eggs at the door? Why not put poop in a bag and light it on fire? Like, why is the first instinct... Like, that's me assuming that this kid is bringing his cousins to kill.
Yeah.
Right? Or am I wrong? Because when they break in the house, they start just like destroying stuff. So is their thing to vandalize?
I mean,
what do you...
maybe to vandalize or just break stuff, but the kid's old enough to drive there, so I mean, we're talking felony territory there, right? Like,
I just like, wow, your first reaction is to kill.
Double-digit numbers in the can. Like,
right.
That's a lot of what they're doing, even with breaking in and doing all that vandalism, right? That's a lot. Even if that was the minimum, like what at least they were gonna do. But
right.
Whatever. I guess they died for it, so everything works out at the end.
Well, speaking of the movie, the scene that I actually will YouTube again. Yes, I will YouTube a scene in this movie, and that is where they're eating dinner, the mom and dad and the son, and the dad's just like, did you do something to the gruel? And she's like, I added salt. I don't know. It kind of reminded me of Mr. and Mr. Smith,
Yeah.
And he's just like eating the gruel. The parents are eating this gelatinous soup thing, not even paying. Mom is scarfing it down, literally. And all of a sudden, the dad realizes, little Timmy here, Peter, hasn't touched his damn bowl.
Yep.
That's a cool moment. I do like that moment. I have paused for ambience.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. I like that moment.
It was good. And he realized it tasted like cinnamon.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. The reason why I like the moment, the reason why I'm hyping it up is just because, like, that's a very real world fear, right? I mean, that could happen. It's like, you're not paying attention, you're eating with your spouse, all of a sudden your kid's not eating the same thing you're eating, and he's kind of just like, like, that's kind of cool. Like, I like that fear. And then,
is that a fear for you that your kid's gonna poison you one day?
One day. No, I just think that that's very kind of like built-in realism with this world. But again, this movie's very dark, and I don't mean dark by scary. I mean like the lighting was bad. Was he vomiting blood when the rat poison was revealed, or was it black sludge?
Yeah, it's just some ick.
That didn't make sense. The black sludge. I don't know why you would vomit black sludge with rat poison. You would just vomit.
Maybe it was the soup. The soup's real color. Yeah.
Love the vomiting scene. I thought it was great. It reminds me of all vomiting, ridiculous jokes. Team America World Police comes to mind. Scary Movie 2. Just absolutely craziness. And then the mom, right? Lizzie tears it up, dude. Like, she sees her husband vomiting his guts out. He's dead. And then she grabs a butcher knife and starts chasing after Peter up the stairs, right? Like Norma Bates style. Blah! Right? This really cool scene. And she rolls down the stairs, something like that. She gets stabbed by her knife. And her last words is, don't let her out.
Don't let her out.
So, now here comes the point. Are we to say now that if Peter never let her out, all this would have been avoided? There's no way she could escape that thin paper wall that Miss Devine knocks down later. Would have been saved.
That's where I'll call, flag on that play, I guess, for sure. I did like that element, though. I really did like that when she said that, like, geez, those are her last words. It's like, ooh, that means something.
Yeah.
That means that there's like, oh, this is, maybe you shouldn't let her out. And
Right.
That's when I'm suddenly on the parent's side. I was actually on her side a little bit more. I think maybe when Miss Devine came by maybe the second time, because she really did seem, or no, maybe it was when she let Peter out of the basement because she baked him pumpkin cupcakes, and she seemed really happy. That the way she acted there, I thought was really good because she seemed again very like excited that he got to come up again because she didn't want to put him down there in the first place, but she knows that you know, well, their life kind of sucks right now and that they're on edge. This is where again, if anything were to get a prequel, it probably would be this movie just to kind of explain what the heck how they got there. But she played again someone with something to hide very well.
I have an idea. Just move. If she's locked in the walls and she can't get away, just abandon the house and move away.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that could have happened.
Right. So the bullies show up, the cousins show up, they start vandalizing the house, and
Just sell it for somebody
Peter
else.
does
House as is.
House as is. I wonder if they'll find a coffee can in the attic.
Don't open it.
Don't. You know what the next guy is. So Peter does not listen to his mom's dying words. I think the movie's trying to make us believe in Sarah, where obviously if you're a smart movie watcher, you know that Sarah's evil, right? But, I think the movie's trying to make us believe that she's sincere. Peter gets the key, opens up the door behind the grandfather clock, and then boom, this movie completely turns to some kind of realism to Linda Blair spider walking everywhere, climbing on walls. This girl has superpowers. Like Sarah's like a beast. She's a monster. This is crazy. Was this movie trying to make us believe that she could do these things?
At first, I didn't know what was going on.
The hair was great. The guys were being decapitated left and right. Great scare with the bully that got his leg broken. He's in the living room. He's on his back. He's kind of scared, not knowing what's going on.
Head, man. Ooh.
And all of a sudden, the hair comes down over him. Right, great scare. These are the scenes. These are the scenes that were on TikTok that made me go, "Oh, this is something." Right.
I think they were pretty good kills.
Very good kills. Until you actually see Sarah and watch her move, and I'm like, "Wow, that is terrible CG."
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
Do you think Sarah would kill Peter?
Yeah, she's jealous of Peter, right? He has the life that she never had, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems like
she's very vengeful.
It seems like she could have had opportunity. Yeah, but he also let her out. Like they're also family. I wonder if there's a thing where I think if she wanted to kill him, I think she could have.
Do you think that she would have locked him in the walls and she would just sit there and eat gruel and watch, Sports Center?
Seems good. Yeah, that's a fair trade. Yeah, I'll lock you in the wall while I go get bullied in school.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure.
No, I get it. But that actually was more believable, Jordan. That she probably wanted him alive so she could lock him in the pit or in the attic.
Well, yeah, with somebody that crazy, right? I am jealous of you because you have the life that I feel that I deserve. So I'm going to make you suffer like I did because I want your life.
Oh, she threw him in the pit, right?
She threw him in the pit. Yeah, she throws in the pit. Miss Divine comes, and then Miss Divine and her get into a scuffle, and then her hair is in the pit. So then he climbs her hair to get out and locks her in the pit. And this is the end of the movie. Like, this is where I'm pissed, right? So, like, I'm going with the flow, going with the movie. It's a, Friday night date movie at this point. But then I had to look it up on Wikipedia. So Sarah has a monologue where they lock her back in the pit, and not word for word paraphrasing, but like, she's like, I'm going to escape at some point. I'm going to find you. I'm going to be everywhere that you are going to be. I will be there. And then while she's doing this monologue, we're seeing scenes of Peter in another room, and he sees like hair on the stairs or hair in his bed, and then she shows up, and then credits. And I'm like, what? Did that happen? So then I wiki it, and the last paragraph of wiki is, some months later, Miss Divine has adopted Peter, and he gets attacked in his new bedroom at Miss Divine's house.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
No, not from that ending. No, I did not. I did not. Would have not pieced that together.
So like, okay, because that ending's weird, right? So just bear with me, please.
I
So
thought she
right
was
here.
just saying it. No, I believe you completely, and I understand completely what you're saying. It's just one of those where, right, just like why wrap it up? You could have
Right.
taken another 5 minutes to kind of show that scene of them living. Take a breather. Oh, okay, the danger's over. And then fade to black, text 2 months later, 5 months later, 6 months later, where you're in the bedroom of Miss Divine's house, and she's like, "All right, Peter, good night, good night, Miss Divine, hey, thanks again," and he's smiling, he's actually happy, stuff like that. Okay, blah blah, and then she leaves, and then
There's the hair
or
somewhere.
the knock or something,
Or a knock would have been great. Good job, Eric. Yeah, yeah, that'd been better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything, or yeah, like a hair, like the shadow of like a figure, something. But
Yeah.
just to have this monologue and then fade out, kind of was weird. Also, I don't understand why they highlighted the scene of Miss Divine and Peter saving the spider, if that didn't come back to anything.
I of saving. No, never mind. I lost it. I did, no, because dude, like, because you're right. You said at the beginning of this episode, like they don't know how to do an ending, just like a Stephen King run, right? Like, you just wrote a better ending, a very cliche, stereotypical ending that we've seen 100 times before, but at least that was a solid ending. Uh, According to Wiki, he's in Miss Divine's house. She has adopted him. Where's that scene? We haven't even seen Miss Divine. Again, I want to paint a picture for the audience. Villain monster gets locked in the basement in a cage. She says a monologue. Divine and Peter hug, and then it cuts to scenes of him in a room. Like, we don't see Miss Divine, nothing. I thought
Yeah.
he was in his old room still of his house.
It was just like little flashy, scary scenes of her being like, "Oh, I'm going to see you," and just like what it would look like being haunted by her.
Maybe because also now I'm asking for a lot more, right? Now I'm asking, okay, so this is probably months later. How did Miss Divine get adoption for this kid? Are you going to tell the cops, hey, all this death and destruction that's in the South, girl living in the walls, or
Yeah.
girls in the basement, nobody goes. I mean, they don't call the cops. Is she legally adopting him? I don't know. Her name's Divine. I don't know. Like it doesn't make sense
Right.
to me. Which left a very, very bad taste in my mouth. So I guess we'll go into the popcorn rating for that, right?
Yeah.
Small bag for me. It's okay. It's not a medium. It's not a large. It's not a no bag. It's okay. I think if I was 10 years younger and I was dating a girl, this would have been a perfect Friday night date movie. Because you're in a big theater, you have the big surround sound. The noises would have done something for you, right? The surround sound would have done like the bump of the night with the knocking. So I think this where this movie will find success is in a theater. At home on YouTube for $7, not worth it. The acting was fine. I just hated Peter. He was too cliche, too Tim Burton-y kid. I like the mom and dad for what they were, but also it's kind of like, oh, we're made to like people who locked their child in the walls. So I can't like them, right? They're jerks. So them vomiting their guts up is what they deserve, right? Cool kill scenes, right? With the decapitations and everything. She has these long nails. She's climbing over everything. Looks cool. Great visual. I think this movie is all about style and ending and not about execution. I feel that somebody came up with the ending first and kind of tiptoed throughout. So overall, a small bag for me. Check it out if you like horror. It's better than Megan, which Megan was bad in my opinion. I don't know if you liked it as much. I didn't like it. So, but it's better than that, I think. So, Eric, what is your popcorn rating for Cobweb?
I'm gonna go the same. Everything that you had said, I would repeat. I mean, well said. It was enjoyable for what it was, but I didn't expect much, and I got what I expected, which was not much. That's really not often that it gets that. But we've talked about how horror movies are kind of in this roller coaster right now, where if it's up, it's up, but when it's down, boy, is it down. This movie had moments where it worked. I love me a ghost movie. I love me a Bump in the Night. Those things are the best. Ever since I was a kid, there's always been that chill of the unknown. I always loved it, and this movie did a good job with all that. But there was too many questions for me to be like just like there's so many red flags. I'll say it again in this movie for it to be in that real area where it's just
Right.
like, well, like I'm so removed from it being any sort of reality, and because of that, it gets silly now when I know that, well, now we are in this magical world in this house where everything is 1970 and there's a Spider Woman living in the attic, and yeah, there's only a landline here, and and that's it, and a ball, and Peter gets a ball to play with, and
Is that the metaphor? Because you asked why did him and Miss Divine save the spider? Because Sarah's a spider woman, and this is the one creature they could save.
I you probably could find some sort of meaning in there. I think you just did.
I pulled that out of nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You spun that. Yeah, I already used that pun. Damn it.
Use that one. Yeah, I mean, small bag, right? I
It's
mean, you and I,
again.
yeah, it's small bag.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like completely recommend this to somebody. Like this is like a Saturday night little date movie to just to kind of watch. It is a little messed up. It is a little bit of gory, which is fun. A nice little kind of thrill right at the end there. But uh, I don't, that's just kind of it. That's just the elements were fine, but I think there's just better horror movies out there. If you wanted to sit down and get like another horror movie, this would not be my first three that I would
Oh
give
yeah,
you.
first 10. I think that could be a new category for Movie Guys podcast
Well, I
here.
mean,
Best horror film.
in like
'Cause we do
recent,
few.
if someone were to say, "Give me a recent horror movie," it's just like, well, I wouldn't recommend you this one off the bat.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Again, they had some moments, but the other moments where it didn't work, I think, overshadowed the other. So small.
Yeah, small. Yeah, movies are small. I was hoping there would be more to it, but we've seen this before. So I think the horror train's going to continue as the months go on. Right? We got a few more horror films in our clip ready to go. I'm excited for a few.
Well, I think we're getting into parody a bit again, right? Like Renfield, Cocaine Bear,
Yeah,
Cocaine
you know,
Shark.
can I say something about Cocaine Bear? Cocaine Bear is now available like on streaming platforms, right? So it's available on our Fire Stick on the main screen. And every time it goes through that little like spin wheel thing on the top, the carousel,
Mhm.
my wife goes, Cocaine Bear. And I do the same thing, Cocaine Bear. And the movie's so terrible. You and I trash that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, like we could have a new category this year. We viewed a lot of horror films this year. Knock at the Cabin would be one. We
Yeah.
hated that film.
Yeah, based off of that. I mean, Insidious Red Door came out. We could always do that one.
I don't know what that is. Oh, Insidious. Yes, Insidious Red Door. I have not seen that yet. I want to check that one out. I haven't seen any of them.
I think there's is The Nun 2, I think is coming out, right? There's
We have not reviewed the first Nun,
Winnie
so
the
I don't.
Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, that's actually real. I
We
saw
did Scream 6.
Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever is coming out this year.
Yeah, see, we'll wait
There's a
till
lot.
October, right? Is when
Yeah.
all the scary movies are coming out.
It'll be interesting to see. But like always, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Check us out at Movie Guys Podcast at podbean.com. But like I've always said, we know that you're listening to us on your phone or to your iPad or your tablet. So wherever you get your podcast from, we are on. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. We are the podcast logo with the headset on it. And I do want to do a shout out, Eric. You don't know I'm going to do this, but there's this new podcast that I've been listening to here. And I just wanted to give them love because Movie Guys Podcast gave them love on their iTunes feeds. But if you are a fan of The Simpsons, check out the show called Pod Pals, where they review every single episode of The Simpsons. So I think that's kind of fun to listen to episodes of The Simpsons, see whether people take who live in Ireland.
All right.
So that's my little plug for them. I just wanted to say that's pretty cool because we're Simpsons fans. So thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode, and we'll be back next week for another awesome episode. Have a good night. So I have a short story. This irritated me, and I wanted to tell you this because you love tech and I love tech. I think you love tech more than me. I don't know, but just spill the beans. I'm an Apple geek boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. That's one of my flaws about me that you don't like.
I do know that. Yes.
So I have an Apple card because I'm that much of a.
Won't hold you to it, but teach their own.
I have an Apple card. I think I'm fancy, right? So there's two ways of paying with your Apple card. You can have the physical card, and swipe it, and you get 1% cash back on any purchases. Or you can have the card on your phone with your Apple Wallet. You can just tap the phone on the reader, and you get 2% for every cash back. You get me so far?
Yeah.
So I had a pipe issue in my bathroom sink. It cracked. It's old. I needed to get more PVC piping. So I went to my local hardware store on Sunday, got some PVC piping, and then I wanted to get some Drano. So I went to the dollar store. I went to Family Dollar, calling them out for a reason.
Okay.
So I left my phone at home, but I had my wallet with me, right? So I get some Drano, some chemicals, and I go up front and I place it on the counter, and the woman said, $12. I said, okay. So I pull out my Apple card, which it doesn't leave my wallet because I use everything on my phone. And I put it in the machine and it says decline. I looked at her and you get that moment of, I know I have money, but breathing on the chip, wiping it on your chest, put it back in the reader, declined. And then you're like, okay, now you're starting to sweat because you have money, but what's going on?
Uh-huh.
Did you get hacked in between, So she looks at me.
Possible.
There's a person behind me, right? And she's like, well, this happened to another guy. Do it one more time, and after that, you can swipe. You don't have to put in the chip. I'm like, okay. So I put in the chip, declined. I went, what? So she goes, okay, now swipe it. Okay, swipe, decline. So 4 declines. I'm sweating. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what's going on. I know I have money on the card, but here, let's just use my bank card, my debit card. It's $12, whatever, swipe. Done, left. Come home. Now, our Apple card is shared between Gina and I. So she gets notifications every time she buys something and vice versa. So I pull in the driveway. She comes out. She goes, there was 4 $12 transactions declined with Apple card. What's going on, right? So I call Goldman Sachs Apple card. And I'm like, hey, this very nice young lady on a Sunday. I was like, hey, this is my story. Repeat. And she said, without even skipping a beat, and I swear to my daughter she said this, a Goldman Sachs employee said, yeah, Apple Card and Family Dollar have a beef. And I went, what? Like, what?
Oh, have a good day then. Thanks.
I was like, what does that mean? And she goes, yeah, I don't know what the beef is, she keeps on saying. But their machines at Family Dollar will not accept the card.
Wow.
They will accept the phone tap, but they will not accept the card. And I was like, do you know how embarrassed I was? And she was like, oh, I get that. And I was like, but I said, ma'am, I'm not trying to be confrontational, but I don't really give a crap if Apple and Family Dollar and
Yeah, no shit. Like I'm paying for your service.
Yeah, and she's just like, I don't know.
This call is being recorded for monitoring purposes. Yeah.
I figured you would get a kick out of that. Like, it's
wow.
just Apple and Family out of all the stores for Apple to have a beef with Family Dollar.
I did know for a fact that like when Apple Wallet or when Apple Pay was becoming a thing, it had to be advertised because it was not accepted at all places. But then again, like certain other cards aren't either. Like a Novus.
Like Amex.
Yeah, Amex is not can accept it everywhere. So Visa, baby, it's everywhere you want. Master, whatever one is wherever you want to be, right?
Is that Visa?
Visa, everywhere you want to be.
That's MasterCard. I don't know. But yeah, that's my little story.
Something like that. Are you ready to talk about this movie, bud?
Yeah, let's talk about it.